Hello, my name is Roy Cornwall. The date today is Sunday, the 25th of June, 2025, at 20 minutes after 2 in the afternoon. I'm getting the feeling that I'm going to be blessed. Now, if I didn't have the 7 gifts of being chosen, then I'd just brush it off. Oh, but I'm getting the impression that, uh, well, okay, I'm going to be blessed in some manner, and it's going to be big. And I say that because He has pruned me since I've been a young child. Mom used to say to me, she'd say, Roy, you're a very special person. You're a very special person. Don't let anybody tell you different. So after she told me that 2 or 3 times, I said, Mom, what do you mean? She says, well, even your name means to be king. I think she saw this M on my hand. You know, look at the M there. And I got the C too when I go like that. Um, from God shining His golden light of love on me in the middle of a rainstorm. It's really raining. And here's this white 4-foot circle of sunlight open up on me only. The ground started steaming beneath me. I looked around to see where it came from, and I must have looked right up into God. My mom saw that at the door. She told me afterwards. She says, you know, God was watching you when you were doing that. That's what the sun was. I've had a lot of obstacles. My father hated religion. Said anything about religion, you get a backhand. Okay? I've got a sore neck. That's what's going on here. So, through my whole life, He's been preparing me. I got crushed by that tree and died, and He put me back on this planet because I wasn't finished doing for Him what He wanted me to do, and He's gonna bless me here. I've been given the 7 gifts of being chosen. I've been resurrected. I've had the armor of God on me, and I've been shown that the armor of God is on me, what it looks like. I've talked to my Holy Spirit. He talks to me regular. That's who you speak with every day. But I've actually spoken with Jesus Christ, and He spoke with me. And I've actually had God Himself speak to me, and I spoke to Him. I'm important in the Trinity's eyes. They've proven that time and time again. They've kept me in the game to do what? So after I got crushed when I was 27 years old, and I'm 71 and a half now. So it's 44 and a half years. He's been pruning me. I've been living in poverty. I put up with more pain and suffering than 10 men like this. It's made me stronger. It's made me more wiser. That gift of discernment is a very strong thing for me. I'm getting to a point where 7 gifts of prophecy, right? One of them is prophecy, telling what tomorrow is going to bring. And that feeling is coming over me again, where I'm pretty sure the Lord's going to bless me with something, and it's going to be pretty big, right? But I have a prayer that I've been trying to keep alive with the Lord, of buying a church, buying 2 triplexes, so the rent from that can pay the bills off in all 3 buildings, the 2 triplexes in the church. Nobody has to pay going into our church ever again. I think that church would have so many people swarming the place. We have to put 3 sermons on a Sunday. We may even have to have another church. Why? Because right now the way the church is set up is you pay money. Right? Make you feel bad if you don't. You pay money and you don't find God. With our church, you don't pay money, and you will find God. Under that scenario, I think people are going to flock to that church and overflow it. So that's what I want to do. That's what I've got in mind. Whether the Lord I figure I tried to do this. Everybody's going to win. People in the building, triplexes all over the rent a bit for them, so they'll get a break. Right? Everybody at the church will get a break that way. As far as I know, it's a winning scenario for everybody, and that's one of God's rules when He acts. Nobody gets hurt, right? So, the question I ask myself is, what would I do if I won the lottery or something else, put like $55 million in my bank account? What would I do? First thing I do, and I do this for a long time till I got an answer, is I pray to the Lord. Understand this now, that money would be God's. It wouldn't be mine. I'd have $23 in my bank account just like I do now. I would steward that money appropriately in a godly way, the way God wants me to do it. Now, I think I'd want to move to Toronto so I could go to that church regular, like, and keep it online, and keep it, under control. So it doesn't go back to reading the Bible only. I want that church there so we can bring the Spirit of the Lord to everybody. Yeah. We won't ask for money. We won't be sending a plate around to ask for money. We will leave a donation box at the door. And about one time every year I'll tell people there's a donation box at the door. If you want to give, you do so out of the warmth of your heart. You don't have to. We're not passing a plate. We're not asking for money. But if your heart overwhelms you and you want to give, there's a box. That money will be used for things, community, to help the community. You know what I mean? Maybe help the food bank or something. It depends how much money we get. Now, if we start getting a lot of money in, I put it in a bank account and save that money to buy another church. See, I think that when the other churches find out what we're doing, we're not asking money. And we've got so many people going into our churches. It's going to put the other churches out of business in the area. That's a concern. So when they come to me and they say, Roy, what are you doing there? You got so many people showing up on your door. You give them a free beer. Like, what's going on? Right? No, we've just made it so that people don't have to pay anymore to come here. And they actually do find God. We don't just teach the Bible only. We teach the Lord here. And people I'm 100% positive of this, will have their own episodes with God. Because I'm telling them what to look for now and how to, act so that He doesn't come into your life. I think people in New Toronto, especially in a time now where grocery food money has tripled, rents have all gone absolutely crazy. Nobody's got $1 left over to go and start paying to the church so you don't find God. I think once the word got out, we'd have so many. Now, Lord, I need the $55 million because there are some things that need to be done at that church. Number one, we need a wheelchair ramp into the church so people can go to church that are in wheelchairs. And we also need an elevator down into the bottom floor so people in the wheelchairs can get down into the bottom floor of the church. Why? Because after Sunday sermon, everybody goes down there for coffees and stuff. Now, I also want to put in-floor heating in that church, upstairs and downstairs. And I want to put a gas fireplace in there so people can have their Bible study and prayer sessions and any other church session they want. They can sit around the fire and do that. Or bring their quilts in and do that in front of the fire. Between having a warm place in the wintertime and that fireplace, People are going to flock to that church. Now, we're not opening the church to bums. If you smell, if you got an earring in your ear, if you got woman's clothes on, if you got makeup on your eye, you're not getting in the door. No, I'm sorry. We don't promote that kind of activity here. I think probably we'd have to start up get 5 or 6 people together and say, look, if somebody comes in here and they stink, we're going to turn them on to you guys. And you guys help him. He won't be able to come to the church that day. But you tell him, look, have you got a shower at home? Yeah. Have you got bar soap? Yeah. If he doesn't, give him a bar of soap. Right? Have you got money to wash your clothes? Well, then clean your clothes, clean yourself up some here, shave, and come back and see us. We'd love to have you. But we can't have somebody sit beside an old lady in there who stinks like crazy, and, you know, there'll be rules. There'll be rules. I pray for this every night. Twice a day I say, today, Lord, or is it tomorrow? The day goes on, I'll say, tomorrow, Lord. I'm probably right out of line asking for this. The Lord's got something totally different in mind. When I moved from Caledon down to Toronto, moved in right beside the church, right? Now, I prayed to the Lord. I said, Lord, let me find a nice girl that I can spend the rest of my life with and be happy. You know what he gave? You know what he did? He gave me a pussycat. He says, Roy, a girl's going to come between you and me right now. So here, take this pussycat. I'm happy. I've got the Lord. I got the pussycat. Without anybody yelling at me here. Trying to take over my life. So this is why he's kept me from my ex-wife. This is why he took me from my ex-wife. Because, she didn't fit into the plan. Well, when I left that church and came to Cornwall, I was the most liked person in that church. Not even the pastor. The people liked the pastor that much as they liked me. So I think I can do that again. I think I can get that whole church hopping. Yeah. We'll change it so that we don't play the guitar. There's probably going to have 1 or 2 guys that play the guitar and sing, and I'll say, we're not only going to do all the old songs, but we're going to pull some songs off of the Chum Hit Parade, like Let It Be and Follow Me by John Denver and Take My Hand, Precious Lord. And, some of the newer songs that are religious. We're going to pull people in because some of these old songs, people don't like them. It's their prerogative. It's a bunch of different songs, and they don't like these ones, and they like these ones. So we're going to give them what they like. If the song talks of the Lord in a good way, we're going to allow it. There's a song called Free Ride by Edgar Winter. It's a rock and roll song. I'm sure nobody realizes it's talking about God. Well, I think that's my prayer. That's my plea to the Lord. So we're just going to see whether this works out or not, right? God is almighty, and His will be done, not mine. His will. He certainly knows what I want. Now, I'm thinking that God put these thoughts in my head. Keeps me thinking about Him. You know what I mean? I think we'd have a Christmas party there at the church. We'd do our best to try and bring it up into the year 2000, not something that would exist in the 50s. You can't have Christmas. That goes against Jesus Christ. And it doesn't. I don't see anybody praying to Santa Claus, please. No, they wish. Just like they wish for the tooth fairy or something. There's only one God. And I'm certain, I'm absolutely certain. I can feel the Lord's hand on my shoulder here right now, Jesus Christ's hand. So I know I'm right when I'm saying this. The Lord would not stand by and tell the whole world, you can't celebrate Christmas. Why? Because there'd be about 1 billion or 10 billion, 8 billion kids all crying. It's a season of giving and of love, and you know what I mean? But God promotes that. God promotes that. He doesn't care whether or not uh, they're doing it for Santa Claus or for me or for Jesus Christ. As long as it's getting done. So Christmas time, I think we have a party. Got to get some gifts for everybody. Depends on how much is in the box. But all the bills, the hydro, land taxes, everything, computer fees, everything into that church will be paid off because it's coming from the rent from the other across the road, the 2 triplexes. And we'll lower the rent. We'll give them a good deal on the rent as well. So everybody wins. Everybody wins. I'm saying this on here now because I'm in a period of waiting. I'm in a period of active waiting. Where I just don't sit here and look and talk into the camera. I'm trying to help my neighbor next door. I've got this web channel that I'm trying to keep updated. I'm actively looking to help people when I leave this apartment. So, well, never underestimate God. Never underestimate God. Every piece of knowledge that I've come in contact with from birth till now tells me He's going to bless me. And the thoughts in my head about this church, so I'm assuming He did that. That's why I'm saying now. Maybe I'm putting the nix on this by telling you guys. Maybe God doesn't want me to tell you guys all this. But look at it this way: if it happens, I'm going to promote that on my channel. I'm going to promote that at the church. I'm going to promote that with anybody who will listen. Do you really think I got $6 million or $10 million in the bank? Not a chance. Not a chance. I would steward that money properly because I've lived below poverty level my whole life. I know the value of a dollar. And I've had beautiful women come on to me and I've turned them all down. So that's not a temptation for me. I'm not greedy. I'm the most giving guy there is. All I need is enough money to have a 1-bedroom apartment and pay for food. Now I'm getting some money now, but I'm probably going to not get that anymore if I get money from the Lord. So the money from the Lord is going to have to take care of me as well. I don't like having to ask for that, but that's the logistics of it here. So I'm thinking for sure we're going to need a real estate agent because it's 3 buildings to buy, but I'm not sure if I need a lawyer or not. I may need an accountant. I don't know what the job of an accountant is. Can I get him to collect the money from the rents and everything and make sure the bills are paid? Or do I have to find somebody else for that? But I can hear the church. Me standing up there in front of everybody saying, well, we're going to get the fireplace downstairs. We're going to get indoor heating. And on top of all of this, we're not going to ask you for $1 ever again. You heard me right. We're not going to ask for $1. There will be a donation box at the door for when your heart gets warmed up and you have to give. But we're not going to try to push that or promote that or even ask you for that. One time a year, I'll tell the congregation that box is there and what it's for. One time a year, just so people can stay clued into what that's for. But the Lord brought me from Callan and stuck me right beside that church and then put me into that church. He's been, look, there's a game, right? There's a mouse at this end. Now you want that mouse to go through the maze and end up at the other end of the maze and come out the door, right? So what do? You close this door so he doesn't go that way. You open that door so he goes through that way. And then you close this one and close this one. Right? Now he's got to be tough enough to do the maze. This is what's going on with me. Every time he opens the door for me, it doesn't lead directly to the money, but it sure tells me that's where I'm headed. I haven't had very much money in my life, ever, ever. Financially, I've been whooped. Physically, I've been killed. So I think if the Lord was going to bless somebody, and I can feel this, that I know He's there. I know He's listening to me right now. Think of this. If He does follow through with this and bless me in this manner, uh, this channel is going to take off. Because I'm going to come back on and plead the Lord's mercy to everybody. People are probably going to think I'm lying, and I don't lie. I don't lie. I would not even lie to God, because when I paid for that bottle of juice, I was fuming. The Lord came. He thought I was being attacked. He, what's going on here? Did you do that for me? No, Lord, I didn't do it for you. I did it because He's my fellow man, and I love Him. I could have said yes. I could have tried to put all that praise on me, but I told Him the truth. I won't lie to God, I won't lie to me, and I won't lie to save you. So, we're going to see. This is a very interesting time of my life. I'm in the period of actively waiting, and, well, we'll see. Right? So, by God's awesome grace, and Jesus Christ's overflowing love, and the support the Holy Spirit gives us all, we'll all meet together down the road in heaven. Blessings, everybody. And like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Give us some help. God and I, give us some help. Until the next time, may God bless. Bye-bye.